welcome to your first homicide. Pick a song, and if it's I'm going to judge you.
First thing you said when we got in the car, you're like, all right, well, Alice, welcome to your first homicide investigation.
Yes.
Because you treat everything like it could potentially be something suspicious until it's proven that it's not.
Yeah.
And that's something that's stuck with me since I started doing investigations on my own.
Those are the one of two things that I first tell people the first time they get in the car with me. I'm welcome to your first homicide.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
And pick a song, and if it's I'm going to judge you.
That's literally what happened. And I forget what I picked, but it was probably because I love emo music, which I think is great. Not everybody thinks great. I forget what we ended up listening to, but it was a fun
It was
ride.
good. I didn't make you walk to the scene.
It's true. It's true. You didn't kick me out of the car, so that's something.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to perform an autopsy?
Ever wanted to know how accurate your favorite crime drama is?
If you're brave enough,
Join us inside the morgue.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Inside the Morgue. This is your favorite podcast girly here, Jess, and I'm with the
What about me?
I'm with our lovely co-host Alice.
I'm just the co-host. I'm not even one of the favorite girlies. Well, I was gonna say, well, fuck me, right? I guess.
Kidding. Your favorite podcast hosts here, Jess and Alice. And today we're with a special guest and our dear friend who we work with, Joe Vasari.
What'd you guys do to have me torture you today?
We love you. That's why. And it's also your birthday this week.
Yes.
Pity.
He's trying so hard to come on the pod. We had to let him eventually.
It's been 3 years.
I know.
Like,
oh my
people-
God, has it been 3 years?
Yeah, people usually file restraining orders after that.
No, we love you too much.
So we're going to be asking Joe some juicy questions that I'm sure everybody working in this field or who wants to work in this field probably wants to know. But before we get started, we are coming at you from Young Junk Studios. So Terry, where can the people find you if they want to start a podcast?
Hey, if you want to start yourself a podcast, you can go to youngfolk.com.
Hell yeah.
You throw rocks at the window.
Yes.
That's how we got it started.
Yeah, we broke the window.
Yeah, I did. I have a very good arm.
All right, let's get started with this episode. So Joe, how long have you been working in the field and what made you choose this path?
Oh, geez. I've been doing it for 7 years.
Damn.
What made me choose this
It's a
path?
long time.
Depends on which story you want. Do you want the...
I want all the stories.
Oh,
Give us
God.
all
Give
the
the
stories.
people
what
We
they
want
want.
all the content.
So when I was 3 years old...
Damn!
It was only the flashing lights that got me because where I grew up, the medical examiner had flashing lights on it, and I was obsessed with fire trucks and everything. And I was like, ooh, what's that? Nobody's going to tell a 3-year-old that, hey, they pick up dead people.
What happened at 3 years old where you were witnessing a medical examiner's car?
Just me being curious and looking at the cars driving around.
Okay. All right.
And then, so it took me 9 years and the TV show Body of Proof to answer what the medical examiner was. And I said, all right, I want to be chronically underpaid for the rest of my life. Let's do that.
We have talked about that before. Yes. Chronically underpaid.
It's so true.
But we love it. We love
Oh,
our
absolutely.
jobs, unfortunately. Wait, what's the other story, though? Or is
That was it. It was just,
it.
do I want to make it like, oh, TV when I was young, or no, like curious 3-year-old? Ooh.
Yeah. No, it was definitely TV for me, too.
Yeah.
For me, it was Bones. I watched that, which we also cover a lot on the show. I was really interested in the entomology side of it. The guy who does all the bugs. But then, you know I love bugs. Why are you making that
You're-
face?
he's-
Because I don't
These are
like,
bug
I know
tats.
you like, but for real.
I love the bugs.
Okay.
But then, yeah.
Yeah. For me, because I wanted to do criminal justice first and like go to Quantico. For me, it was Criminal Minds. But then I realized no.
Well, then I realized no. Since we're talking about shows, is Body of Proof your favorite drama series based on like the field that you work in?
Yeah.
Is it?
What really solidified it for me was when they said Upper Darby, which is where I grew up. So I was like, all right, you name drop
Like,
where I'm
shout
from.
out.
All right. In.
That's very similar.
They're the Philly coroner.
Yeah.
Ask me how many times I drove around Philly looking for that building only to find out it was in Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's not here.
Is it really in Rhode? I didn't know it
So
was in
then
Rhode
when I
Island.
went to Rhode Island, I was like, all right, now I need to find where this was filmed, and actually went there and was like,
Did you
oh, this
really?
is so cool.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go inside?
No,
Oh shit! You just
I
like
am
saw it
sure they would
outside.
have called the police.
It's probably like an office building and not like
yeah.
a medical
It is.
examiner.
It's some office building that they like Photoshop medical
And they
examiner.
just see
That's
guys,
so
Philadelphia.
funny. We've said this before in the podcast. Body Proof has some of the most realistic looking organs of the shows that we've looked at.
Good, because I would have been upset if you ruined it for me.
I know that was one of the first things you said
Even
when we started
though-
this podcast and we did Body Proof. You're like, if you ruin this,
Even though she does everyone's job,
yeah. Well, she's Megan.
she's
Megan
the,
Hunt. She
Megan
does
Hunt.
everything.
She's the main character.
You know what?
Everything, and she looks fabulous while she does it.
I used to question Megan, and then some of the police departments I worked with, I was like, all right, cool. Now I know why Megan did it all.
I know why she does everything because she needs to.
Because she's Barbie.
She's Barbie. She is everything. They're just Ken. All right, let's see. What do we have next?
Our next question here.
Can you share a moment with us that was a defining moment in your career in forensics?
Oh, God. Defining in what sense?
Like,
It was like a fulfilling moment. You're like, this is why I do this.
yeah.
All right,
Something that
fulfilling.
made you like solidify, like, yes, this is.
Like, I am in the
Good.
right path. This is meant for me.
I'm glad we clarified that
Yes.
because, like, the first time that I went on a crime scene tape, I was like, wow, like, this isn't TV. I'm here.
Doesn't that
But,
feel
like,
so cool when
it's
there's
so
crime
cool,
scene tape
but
and
it's
you're like,
like-
oh, I
And
get
you're
to,
like, you can go under.
You show your badge and you're like,
Right.
I get to go in.
It's so cool, but it's like, that's why I was like, what's defining? Like, what are we talking about? Because hi. That guy. That's
is
not
mine.
anything special.
This is mine.
I think the first time that I got a letter from a family, like really saying thank you, so much
my
was tied up
God.
until you got involved, and being able to just be a part of this process really helped so much. That was like the first point that I was like, all right, I'm doing something good here.
That's amazing. I love that. I've had phone calls recently, like this week, with family members who were like, thank you so much for all that you did. Like, I appreciate all you're doing. And I was like,
I know.
why I do it.
I had a mom email me. This was like weeks after I was dealing with her son's case. She emailed me like so out of the blue and just like, thank you for like saying his name and like making him still a person and like everything that you and your office are doing. And that was the first time I've ever gotten something like that. And I was like, this just made me sob inside and made me so happy that I'm doing this field.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you feel, I don't think this is a slide that we have, but do you feel this is like a calling for you? Because that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I would do
Right.
as a career.
Right.
Like, there's
Could be a meteorologist.
I could be a meteorologist.
Oh my God, wait. Talk about that. Talk about how Joe took like, what, a week off of work one time to go chase.
storm chasing?
To go storm chasing. Like
in the middle of
Twisters.
nowhere?
In the middle of nowhere, like,
Talk about how you went to Oklahoma. Please.
so I thought Oklahoma was just dirt, and it's not. Like, there's actually civilization there in some parts, and then between other civilizations, it's dirt. And so I did. I went to Oklahoma, went through Nebraska, Kansas, Arkansas, Mississippi, looking for tornadoes.
The real
and
life twisters.
Oh my God.
on
that
a
was
budget.
on a budget.
Oh my gosh. That's
And so I was
amazing.
like, all right, this is cool. And everybody that we work with was like, what are you going to do when you get sucked up and are killed? I was like, I'm going to be a really cool case study.
right. And then we're going to talk about you constantly, which is what you want.
Right.
That's all I want.
So, what is something that our listeners or listeners in general might not know about you?
I mean, anything.
I really hope none of the listeners know about me, like nothing about me, because I'd be concerned. It's too early for me to have stalkers.
We have some very loyal fans.
Good for you guys.
You can talk about your IMDb page, how you're going to be on Abbott Elementary.
Maybe on Abbott Elementary, close
You
enough.
couldn't tell Joe is a Phillies fan. If you're watching, Joe is a Phillies
so,
fan.
the day that we're recording this, the Phillies are playing right now.
Right. So, complete side note. The last time something like this, at least in my memory, happened, today it's the Flyers, the Phillies, and the Eagles. This brings me back to when the Union went to the Cup, the Eagles went to the World Series or the Super Bowl, and the Phillies went to the World Series, and all three lost.
Yeah.
That was the most Philadelphia moment for me in Philly sports.
Of
like
course.
all three
Cheers at
losing
the
the
last minute,
championship.
yeah.
So
As
if
a
they
Mets
all
fan, I'm
choke
gonna
today,
take a quick little drink. Real quick.
if they choke today, I'm going to be pissed. Like the financially responsible side of me is like, all right, the money I spent on World Series tickets goes to my season tickets now. But I want to go to that parade on Broad Street. Like, come on.
Dude. All right, what's one piece of advice that you have for somebody who is looking to get into forensics?
Be persistent.
Yeah.
When I first was trying to get into this field, so I didn't even get an internship right off the bat. I actually went into my local medical examiner's office to do a school project on somebody who worked there. I really thought I needed to go to the Lindsay Lohan method to like get court sentenced to go volunteer in the morgue just because it was that hard to get in.
It's very hard.
And
Yeah.
having that connection from my background in 911 to get into the morgue and then to be able to start a career out of that, persistence pays off.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about your background, because that's something that I find really interesting about people we bring on to interview. Like, so many people with different backgrounds end up finding their way into forensics. So talk a little bit about
Talk about all of the careers.
all the careers that you
had
had / currently have. Joe wears a lot of hats, guys.
Joe needs to start putting some hats down.
He does.
So I first started in 911 as like a cadet firefighter in some learn and see what this is like program at one of the firehouses 2 towns over from me. And they did a really good job because they convinced me to stick with it. So I ended up joining my local fire company and stayed with that program and still am with them 11 years later. Jesus Christ. And so I have a lot of the 911 emergency response background, and it would always crack me up because anytime like the ME would call us to come out and help, I'd be like, all right, like this is so cool. And everybody's like, what the hell is wrong with you? And then working for the ME, I would call my own fire department out. I'm like, hey, guess where you're coming?
On a trip.
On a trip.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So that's a lot of my background is 911 through the fire department.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really, really interesting. And I just want to say, when I first started training as not just like an autopsy tech or pathology assistant, a death investigator, you took me to one of my first scenes.
Oh God, which one was it? I know you can't tell me which one, but like,
I'll tell you after we're done recording.
great,
But
because
the
I'm
first
scared
thing-
now.
First thing you said when we got in the car, you're like, all right, well, Alice, welcome to your first homicide investigation.
Yes.
Because you treat everything
Everything.
like it could potentially be something suspicious until it's proven that it's not.
Yeah.
And that's something that's stuck with me since I started doing investigations on my own.
Those are the one of 2 things that I first tell people the first time they get in the car with me. I'm welcome to your first homicide.
Literally.
And pick a song, and if it's shit, I'm going to judge you.
That's literally what happened. And I forget what I picked, but it was probably shit because I love emo music, which I think is great. Not everybody thinks it's great. I forget what we ended up listening to, but it was a fun
It was
ride.
good. I didn't make you walk to the scene.
It's true. It's true. You didn't kick me out of the car. So that's something. And you're still on my podcast.
Right.
Even though I'm not the favorite podcast girly,
Right,
that
way
is
to
clearly
go.
Jazz.
We're all a little tipsy. We all had 1 or 2 drinks before this.
I had 2 drinks. Jess's favorite line in the show is like, I had 1 drink. I had 2.
Always 2. Officer, I only had 2, I swear.
I also feel like in this field, it really is all about who you know to get in somewhere too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely like making those connections, networking, just as best you can, doing an internship if you can. Yeah, all of that is definitely what helped, because that's how I mean, I didn't do an internship, but I knew someone because I worked at the anatomy lab at the school I went to, and the lab director worked at the office that we work at. And when a spot opened up, she shot me a message. She's like, hey, you should apply. And that's how I got in.
I did an internship at our office, and then when the autopsy tech position opened up, like our now chief deputy, like he emailed me and was like, hey, you should apply for this job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I will.
Heck
I'll
yeah,
get
I will.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't do either. I just said, hey, I want to quit where I'm at now. Can you hire me?
Yeah. Well, you were part-time with our office for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then a
Yeah.
full-time spot opened up and we're like, let's get Joe.
He wants in.
We want Joe.
He blends in. All right.
Yeah.
All right. What is one common misconception that this industry or this job has?
So I blame TV.
It's what our podcast is all about,
Wonderful.
my dude.
You
So
came to the
I'm
right place.
Right. I'm with a good crowd. It's not going to take me 20 minutes to figure out what happened completely. Even if it's blatantly obvious, there's so much more behind the scenes, waiting for different tests, waiting for the actual autopsy
Right,
to
yeah.
happen. There's so many different stakeholders depending on what the investigation is. Like, I'm not going to have all the answers you want as soon as you call this office right away.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people think it goes very quickly. And I always feel terrible when they call and I can't give them the immediate answers that they want. I have to tell them that it's going to take a while because I can't imagine what they're going through.
Right.
And
we have to wait for outside labs to do the testing. We don't do testing in-house. So we have to wait for
some offices
all
do.
of those results to come back.
We don't have the capacity to do that. And it's just a lot of things are out of our hands that we have to wait for. And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's
And I'll
tough.
tell you what, like even places with inside labs, like I've worked places that we told people, hey, hear from us in 3-4 months. I'm like, what? We have our own lab and we're telling people that long? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so for us, like, even though it's frustrating how long it takes for people to get answers, like we do really well compared to other places.
We try our best.
And that's where it's like communicating and being open and transparent. Like, hey, this is what the process is going to look like. I'm not withholding things from you. Just things take time, but I'll keep you updated. If things change, I'll let you know why that change is happening. Holding their hand throughout something that I don't want to be a part of this process on the other end. I can't imagine they want to be where they are.
No.
Giving
the
somebody
worst
that
day of their life.
support to get through that worst time in their life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the things I like being there for people when they need support most, but it's also like just super hard when you're not able to give them the answers that they want or like that they're looking for. So yeah, it's a very difficult part of the job, especially when TV makes it seem like it happens within 45 minutes.
Right.
And it's like,
You
no.
have the autopsy. You have immediate results.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, Megan's wearing stilettos to a crime scene. I'm not wearing stilettos for different reasons, but
hair curled and down
right,
in an autopsy.
like dressed, like
She's
come
looking
on.
fabulous, but yeah, body approved that.
And,
then like she's
meanwhile,
going to
20
crimes.
minutes ago, like, hey, can you get up? What? I'm half asleep,
It's like
Oh,
2 a.m.
dude.
And I'm like trying to keep my eyes open.
and I'm looking at my phone, like, no, the 911 center is not calling me right now.
I
Like,
know.
I got a call. This must have been like midnight going on 1 a.m. I got a call and it like paged like 3 times. Not because I didn't acknowledge it, but because they just kept paging. And I was like, I don't have to go to this, do I? Like, I don't have to go to a scene right now. That's crazy.
You're
The
just so in
worst-
denial, but it's like one of the stages of grief. You're like, I don't have
Right.
to get out of my cozy bed. I don't have to
Right.
go
And
to
I
a
was like,
scene.
I was like, Dom, I have to go out. And he's
I don't
like,
have to put on my stupid
he like
cargo
didn't
pants.
acknowledge me.
And the worst is, like, there's some of the pages that it's like, oh, call this person. Like,
Call by phone
call
is my
by
favorite page.
phone, unresponsive, unconscious. And you're like, all right, maybe it's something I don't have to go to.
70-year-old man who
And then
just
it'll be
died
like
of natural
shooting. I'm like,
causes.
damn, all right, like,
Yeah.
I don't even need to talk to you. I'm coming, I know.
Yeah. For
As soon as it
reference,
says turnpike, I'm like, damn it.
for reference for people who don't understand, we have a system on our phones. We have phones through work, and the 911 center will page us directly if we're on call, or like anytime, but like
Yeah.
especially if we're the person on call overnight, we'll get a page directly. That'll wake us up. We'll do a quick read of the page and like what the summary of the situation is, and we'll basically know by that little summary of like, okay, is this a scene? Is this just a call?
If
What
this-
do I have to do for this?
Right.
Call by phone and it's like some person's name, a number, and then hospital.
A hospital, you're like, great, it's not a scene. But then if it's like a shooting or a car accident, you're like, oh no.
And
you're like,
especially-
something terrible happened. And
No,
I have to go out at 2 a.m.
And places that I worked at before, like, that didn't have this system, but you got to know who you were working with. And they'd be like, call detective such and such. And I'm like, that's homicide.
What if I don't want to?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Once you like you recognize the name on the
Right.
page, you're like, I have to call this person. You're like, oh, this is gonna be a bad one.
Mm,
The worst is foul odor.
right. Foul odor, flies,
You're like, this
Did
is
not
Weed.
try
this.
resuscitation.
Yes. Or,
obvious.
any decomposing person is going to be an automatic scene. So yeah, once you see those signifiers in the like 911 page, you're like, oh no, I have to go to this.
But then sometimes you get cops that are like, yeah, he smells really bad. And we're like, well, is he decomposing? And then they're like, yeah. And then we get there and he's not decomposing.
yeah. Or the opposite. You're like, no, he's fine. And then you're
And
like,
we're
okay,
oh,
we'll just
he's
send
clearly
transport.
bloated.
And then
Right.
you're like, oh, I should have gone to this scene.
right. Now, ooh.
Yeah.
About that.
How am I going to explain this one now?
Yeah. hmm And okay, what's the next question? But I have another question. Do you have any goals for the future of your career? You just made a face when that slide came up. You're already very accomplished in this field. I also want to say you do have a background as an autopsy tech as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
Love
amongst
that.
friends as dual roles of autopsy tech or pathology assistant.
Favorite pathology girly.
the favorite pathology girly is
Right,
is
me. It's
Joe.
not these
It's
two.
Joe.
I was very fortunate. The office that I came from when I first started, we had to do it all. Depending on what the circumstance was,
Really?
we had to do it all. When it came to the investigation, the transport of the body back to the morgue, that was the investigator. And we had such limited staff that if autopsy techs called out, hi, investigator, suit up and get back there. So I laugh. The first ever autopsy that I was a part of, I passed out. And
No way, I didn't know that.
absolutely, yeah. My first day as an intern, I hit the ground as soon as they reflected the scalp. And my
that's the rough
brain was
part.
like, your
Peeling
forehead's
scalps.
not supposed to be touching your chin. And like, I must have looked like I was buffering and then hit the ground. And I was on the floor telling the pathologist, like, give me 5 more minutes. I thought I was asleep in bed, like, and somebody was trying to wake me up for school.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I never knew this.
And then months later, I'm cutting these same people up, and I was like, wow, like, we've come a long way from
Full circle.
sleeping on the floor of the morgue.
I appreciate you sharing that because I tell people this all the time. Just because you have like a bad day in the morgue or there's something that you think is like a little too much for you to handle doesn't mean
You're
you
not cut
can't
out for the
do
job.
this.
Yeah.
Because I've definitely had days like that. Like when I first started, there were a lot of things that I was keeping bottled up because I was like, oh, if I talk about this, they're going to think I'm not cut out for this. And then we had our first like group therapy meeting and I was like, oh, everybody feels this
Yeah.
way. It's not
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the pathologists we work with talked about how like during one of her first autopsies, she literally threw up. But now she's a freaking forensic pathologist. And
Yeah.
like it doesn't mean you're not cut out for this job. There's just sometimes you have a bad day.
I remember, I think when I first started, during like my first 2 weeks, there was like a lot of pediatric deaths for whatever reason.
Those are the worst.
So getting all of that out of the way like really fast for me, like having to like experience that like super fresh starting in my career, I think that was good for me. There was also one time when you were away for a week on vacation for something. I was by myself, so like I was cutting every day, and there was another like really sad pediatric case. I remember I went home and I was like, my mom like had come upstairs like checking on me because this is when I still lived at home, and I just like started breaking down crying, and I was like, there's just so much I have to do in the back, and like everybody up front just looks at the pictures, but like they're not actually doing it, and like I'm the one doing it, so like they don't understand. And my mom was like trying to comfort me.
it's hard.
And that was like the first time I think I broke down about a case, and like I was like, I can't hold it in anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to let the feelings out. But yeah.
See, I'm glad because, like, my parents, when I first started out, like, I would tell them gross stories and they'd be like, I don't want to hear it.
That's how my mom is. And I was like really
my dad
thankful.
usually is. My mom
My
loves to
mom
hear
like
it.
was there to like listen and support me, because my dad, on the other hand, he's like, he wants to know everything.
Like, I remember I would come home from my internship and they'd be like, what did you do today? I'm like, oh, I got to ladle blood out of the chest.
was
and
so
they'd be like,
exciting.
what do you mean ladle? I'm like
You
a
literally
ladle.
use a
Like,
ladle.
took
Literal
a soup
ladle.
It's a
ladle.
literal ladle.
Like, go back, cook chicken noodle soup, the thing that you're scooping it out, like that with blood, and put it in a container. And they're like, no, I don't want to hear it. Goodbye.
Yeah. No, I've had similar experiences like that.
We have a lot of kitchen tools. We do.
Yeah.
It's just so weird.
There
Kitchen
was-
Depot is like for getting autopsy.
Yeah.
I like a family
Restaurant
thing.
Depot, like
Restaurant
everything. Yeah.
A family.
Not to shout out like a business, but like Restaurant Depot,
sponsor
you
us.
right,
Home Depot?
you are doing a lot more than just stocking kitchens and restaurants.
I want to. I knew how to like use a knife sharpener at like a family dinner once, and they're like, "How do you know how to do this? You don't eat meat." And I'm like, well,
But
I know,
like
every
seriously,
time my Dom's brother-in-law was like, oh, Jess can carve the turkey.
I get that every
Yes.
Thanksgiving. Every Thanksgiving, so I started working at
But
Forensics.
it's
They're like,
like-
Alice, you want to carve the turkey?
Right. It's so true though. Like the one doctor, I love her to death that I worked with. She's now retired. Her favorite tool to ladle like any sort of fluid out of somebody was a flower designed like actual kitchen ladle that she bought from somewhere. And I'm
There's
like,
so many tools. Like we have like
Yeah.
bread
Right.
knives in the back. Sorry, everybody, but yeah.
I was showing my friend's at Taekwondo class. I was like showing him like a tool setup because he was curious. And the grossing knife was like in the picture of the setup. And he goes, what is that? And I was like, it's like a bread knife. And he goes, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Excuse me.
He's like, hold up, take it back.
Take it back. I don't want to know this. Wait, so
and do you know what's the best part? Like we just turned this into Rachel Ray from What Are Your Career Aspirations?
I was literally just gonna say we didn't answer your future career aspirations question.
What do
We
you
just
want
started-
to do in the future? Where do you go from here?
Or do you
Well,
just
I
wanna-
mean,
do you
at this
stay
point, it
here?
sounds like I'm getting on MasterChef. Like Gordon Ramsay, where you at?
Oh no.
He's a secret chef.
Right. Future aspirations. I'd like to torture myself if the wearing so many hats wasn't a clue. I want to go to school for forensic pathology, especially
You're
with,
currently getting your master's.
currently getting my master's. Was supposed to start medical school and was like, no, let's add different letters first after my name.
I love collecting letters.
Right. Like,
yeah.
Letters. That would be an alphabet.
Yes.
right. Like, so I thought it would be a good idea to do K through 12 all over again and become a forensic pathologist, especially in this field. There's such a shortage. It's like,
We've talked about this.
We've
and
gone
do you know
viral for
what's
it.
hilarious?
What?
When you talk to medical schools and you tell them, like, I want to be in pathology, in forensic pathology, you get looked down upon. And
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe
like-
that.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
me
I believe
and
that.
so many of my friends who've gone through this process, like people that I've worked with from this forensics background who say, this is why I did what I did and this is what I want my future to look like. You tell them you want to be a forensic pathologist and they're like, no, you didn't think hard
So
enough.
wild.
So
And it's crazy. Like, for as big of a shortage as there is, I would be like,
Right.
come, like, bring us your tired, bring
And
us
I
your
feel like
hungry.
that's every show where it's like, oh, well, this was their second choice.
that's what
Right.
drives me nuts is it's never anybody's like main passion.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, I came into the like Megan Hunt. she
Megan,
was a
she was
a
a
surgeon.
neurosurgeon.
Her hands got messed up and she's like, well, now I'll do forensics. And I'm like,
oh no,
Let
I
it
can't
be-
do this anymore.
And
one
the
person
one
whose
question I
passion
have
it
for
was
ABC,
Dexter.
right? And the one question I've got for ABC, like, what residency did Megan Hunt do that she went
Where she
from
could just jump into
neurosurgery and was
forensic
like,
pathology.
I'm going to go cut dead people now?
Jenny from Coroner, she wanted to be a coroner, I think.
did she really?
Did she?
Yeah.
Did she? I can't remember
I
if
can't
she
remember,
did.
but I feel like she did. And I feel like that's why we like her.
Yeah.
But like Toronto and Ontario, how they do that system where Jenny's from and based out of, like, it's two separate offices that they have. They have the office of the chief coroner and the office of forensic pathology services.
Really?
Or something very similar to those titles. So the coroners who actually run the death investigation have to be physicians, but not necessarily a forensic pathologist.
Oh.
And then when autopsies are required, they send it to the forensic pathology service to get that portion done.
It's wild.
That's crazy.
That's like one of my favorite things when I travel places. I go and visit morgues like it's a tourist attraction.
You do.
I mean, I would
You
do the
do.
same.
I would too.
So I went to
I
Alberta.
need to travel more.
Right. I went to Alberta and was at their medical examiner's office.
Next place
Went
I
to
travel.
a coroner's court in London. I was like, this is great.
We got to go to Banff.
Banff, yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Banff, and Joe's gonna go with me because he's been before.
The Canadian Rockies kicked my ass. Like,
Oh
if
my
you
God.
want to hike, just letting you know, like, I'm going to, and there
fine.
will be bears. We need bear spray.
Okay, we'll get bear spray.
Like, they were like, do you have bear spray? I was like, what?
Who
Do
can
you?
sing in person?
Sorry, before we move on to the next
I think
slide question.
this is the last one.
Okay, great, because I have more questions. Do you ever? This is something that not take issue with, I guess, isn't the right way, but like when I tell people what I do. I've talked to people who are doctors now and they're like, oh, I wanted to like go into forensics when I first went to medical school, but like I decided not to because I like talking to people. I'm like, we talk to people
All the time.
all day. We
wish
have to
I
be
didn't have to
such
talk to so many people.
We have to be such people persons. And like, is that something that you've heard before when you tell people you want to be a forensic pathologist in the future? They're like, oh, I couldn't do that because I like to talk to my patients or whatever.
Right. And
Yeah.
Can I say something rather, like, controversial?
Absolutely.
Sure, we can have Terry edit it out if
Cool.
it's too controversial.
Terry, don't edit it out.
Really look down upon, like, medical examiner, coroner system employees just because of, like you said, oh, well, your patients aren't talking. I like to talk to my patients. I feel like we, out of a lot of different specialties, have a lot of FaceTime with so many people
Yes.
that you don't expect us to. Like,
Right.
our bedside manner is just as important. I feel like all these other specialties, they're like, all right, cool, you're here for this. I'll see you in 6 months. Goodbye.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't know because I'm not a doctor in any other specialty. But yeah, when people tell me they're like, oh, well, I couldn't do that. I like to talk to people. I'm like, I'm talking to people all damn day.
We have to talk to
I would be
Right.
so pleasant
officers,
all day.
detectives.
Yeah.
We'd start to grieving family
Right.
Family
members.
members.
Multiple grieving
That's what I'm
family
thinking of. I was like,
members.
I have to be
Hospitals.
And-
so like on point when I'm talking to family
Right.
members and asking them important questions about their loved one. And they're trusting us with their loved one on like the worst
Yeah.
days of their life.
And like when it comes to cases that we're not involved with, where we have to refer it back to the primaries, like some of the ones you talk to don't want to be on the phone with you.
Yeah.
No, nobody likes getting a call from the coroner's office.
But not
Nobody.
even that. Like just they're like, all right, I'm seeing patients. What is this? What do you want?
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that how you talk to people?
Literally, yeah. No, I get it. I get the
Yeah, so
disrespect.
that's got to be edited out. Cool.
No,
Great.
it's okay
Like,
because I'm about to tell
I don't want
a
to be
weird
fired.
story.
No, I was talking to a PCP this morning, or he was an ER doctor helping report a death, and I was like, okay, well, I'll have to know more about this. The husband's still there. Can you ask him? The husband was like talking, but the ER doc was like, yeah, like over him as this husband was talking, and I was like,
Right.
it doesn't even seem like you're listening to him.
Right.
I was just gonna tell. It might be slightly inappropriate. I went to an appointment to my lady doctor, my OBGYN, and he's a new doctor that I'm seeing, and he noticed I had scrubs on when I went to the appointment. And he's like, "Oh, do you work in the healthcare field?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a coroner and like death investigator." And he's like, "Oh my God, I actually went into medical school for forensic pathology." And I was like, "You ended up here?"
You wanted to do this?
I was like,
How does that?
I was like, walk me through your
Right.
process. And he said the same thing. He's like, I just like interacting with the community and with my patients. And I'm like, I interact a lot with the
I feel like I talk too
community.
much sometimes.
Right.
and to like not directly to my patients, but
not for
I try to
nothing
give
to,
them a
like,
voice because they can't talk
Who
anymore.
is the community that you're interacting like as a gynecologist? What are you going
What
out
outreach
like?
are you doing?
Right.
Get a
Like-
pap smear.
Like for us, like okay, law
He
enforcement.
was great. It was great.
Like
Very-
you've got your
very
patient base, but then
Bedside
who's
manner
the
was
community?
fantastic. I feel like I'm shitting on this guy. It just like struck me immediately when he's like, "Yeah, I wanted to be a forensic pathologist," and I'm like, now we're here. And I need
Right.
to understand why because I'm so confused.
Like, did you change your mind? Did someone else change your mind for you? Like, what happened?
Well, because when you think about it, it's like the complete opposite side of the spectrum. Like he's probably helped deliver, or he definitely has helped deliver babies.
Right.
Like he's like on the life-giving spectrum of it.
I have-
I'm like, what happened?
I have another question for you. So, like, when you tell people your goal is to go to med school and be a forensic pathologist, do they tell you, well, you should keep an open mind before setting on a specialty?
Yeah, and a lot of coming into this field was the time where I was like, all right, let me keep an open mind. Like, so coming from 911, working a lot with EMS, the paramedics, like we would interface with ERs a lot. That was my time. Like, all right, what's emergency medicine look like? There was a great program that I did in my high school that we had a hospital, which is now closed, right next to our high school, that for a semester we walked over and an hour each day we did rotations in cath lab and surgical
Oh, wow.
floors, the ER, pharmacy, like OTPT. Like that was the time where I was keeping my mind open. I'm 7 years into this field. Like I'm here because I know I want to be here. Like,
Right.
and then some of these places too, like, do they think I'm trying to pull the wool over their eyes? Like, I want to be a forensic pathologist. Just kidding. That 8 years I did, now I'm going to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. Like,
You're going to be a gynecologist.
right. Because I want to help the community.
Doing all the outreach.
I might be misquoting this poor doctor, but it was something along those lines where I was
really put
like,
him on
Right. Please
blast.
don't drop her as a patient. Like, if you're
Please.
saying that.
If you're watching
You're
this,
fantastic.
she's
Thank you.
lovely.
Great. I'm just 2 espresso martinis in. All right. I have another final question for you. I know you're a big fan of Body of Proof. Are
All
there
right.
any other like CSI type dramas that you would recommend based on their accuracy?
Oof.
That's a good question.
Or like movies or anything that you've watched where you're like, that looks real?
Mhm.
The one I recently watched for the last podcast I was on called Pop 7. I watched and I
Okay.
was like, there's
That's on
so
our
many
list
scenes.
of like other movies and shows to talk about, and we just haven't gotten
Some of
to
the
it
like
yet.
decomp that they do in that, I'm like, I can smell this.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So for you, any shows or movies that you are like, yep, this is on point.
It depends.
Or the opposite. Any ones that you're like, this is the
This is
worst.
a horrible show.
Don't watch this.
I'll keep it positive. I'll keep it positive, and I'll
Proud
keep
of
it
you.
my opinion
Proud
as
of
to
you.
why it's positive. I really liked Crossing Jordan.
We've done that a few
Yes,
times.
I love Crossing Jordan.
Just because, like, not only did it have the aspect of like, all right, we're in the morgue, like we're going out to scenes, like, and different offices for different reasons, staffing, things like that, whatever their policies are, like death investigators go, sometimes the doctors go. Like, so for me, at first getting in this field, I was like, why is the doctor always going to stuff? Like, I don't ever have a doctor coming with me.
We've talked about that because in our office, we don't ever have doctors go with us.
But then, so getting a better appreciation for like, okay, like maybe that's just what they decided to frame this as for their TV show. It did a good job at capturing like office environment and interpersonal relationships in office, in addition to like just how people act in this field in their personal lives, like in their professional lives. Like,
fair enough.
The one episode that Jordan's going through the morgue, like dancing, singing, and like all this shit 2 a.m. I'm like, that's me when I used to work night shift. Like I have music blasting, and I'm
That's
like,
me
all right.
every morning.
There was one day
I was listening to K-pop Demon Hunters this morning in the morgue.
I listen to Haley Williams when I'm back in
And
the morgue
like
lately.
they did a good job at like the forensics was there, but then everything else was there too. Like it wasn't so much of a CSI-esque, like this is why we're here. Like I found a hair 3 blocks down the street. Like they did a good job at capturing a lot of what the field is on all different angles of it.
Yeah. I was gonna say the time when we were working back in the morgue together, and we were like listening to music, and the doctor was like cutting organs, looking the other way, and
we
Jess
were
and
just
I,
like-
without knowing, just started doing the same dance. And then the doctor turned around and she started cracking up, and I was like, "This is just what we do back here. We just dance sometimes."
How I get through the day.
How we get through
If
the
we're
day.
confessing things right now, if your speaker
Almost.
back there is ever low, it's me. I was back there doing something and had the speaker hooked up.
Yes. What is
down
your
speaker.
preferred music for back in the morgue? It depends on the day for me. Sometimes I want something like Chapel Roan, upbeat pop, Dua Lipa. Sometimes
I want emo.
Sometimes I want emo. Sometimes I want My Chemical Romance, Paramore, Fall Out Boy.
Sometimes I want country.
I usually don't, but I will if there's Jess. I don't hate country. It's just not usually what I gravitate towards. But if Jess is there, fuck yeah.
I put it on and I let YouTube decide, and it'll go from like Meek Mill to some crazy shit I've never heard. People are screaming, and then like a lullaby. I'm like, what is it?
I have like really weird playlists made. I have like one of them is called Sounds to Drown Out a Bone Saw.
Okay.
Did you create that?
Well, wait
Yeah,
a minute. If we're
that's
talking about
brilliant.
playlist, I have a very, very good skill of whatever call I'm going to, finding
Yep.
a song that matches that call.
That's
You do.
good.
You do.
So
I've been in the car with
I
you.
need that.
it depends on what setting I'm in. If I'm in the morgue, I'll just let whatever play. Like if I'm going somewhere, I've got a playlist perfect
You're, like,
for whatever that situation
Getting in the
is.
zone for that.
Again, everything's a homicide until we can say it's not. But like, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, I'm gonna play something that sounds like a duck.
It's a goose.
Fair. And it's a goose. Duck, duck.
Right, duck, duck, goose.
All right. Trying to think if I have any other questions.
I don't think I have any other questions.
Do you have a favorite book about forensics that you'd recommend to our listeners? We've talked about books a few times.
Yeah.
One of mine is Stiff and or Working Stiff.
Stiff, dead
Stiff.
center's good.
Dead Center.
Okay.
I have this really bad habit of buying a book because it looks good, reading 3 pages of it, and then putting it down.
Yeah. I've
Not
been
so
there.
much because it's not interesting, just I'm busy.
I was going to say you have like 5 jobs.
The one book, oh my God, I can't remember it. It's like, I got to think of it.
Is it one that you have at your cubicle? We'll post it on our Instagram if you guys want to see. We'll
You
bother
guys haven't read
Joe
The
and-
Long
It's-
Walk. That's a great book.
You want to talk about how I'm traumatized by that movie? Listen to Cult Pop. I chose to watch that movie during a very sad time in my
I read
life.
that book in like 2.5 days.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Alice, this is such a good book. I can't wait to watch the movie. And I hyped it up so much.
And I was like, great, I'm canceling a wedding and just like going through a really rough time in my life. And I'm just going to like go see this movie with my friend JD. And we cried.
and then she
Did
texted
we
me. She
address
goes,
the wedding before on this podcast?
yeah, we
Okay.
have.
I remember the last time there was like a side skirt to it, and I was afraid
No,
that
I
there was.
mentioned
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I
we're
thought this was
good.
The Office when only
I'm-
one person didn't know
I'm
about it all
okay,
over
everybody.
again. Okay.
It's fine. I've also
Everything's
mentioned on the other
fine.
podcast how I'm not getting married anymore. It's
Okay.
okay. It's okay. We're good.
Which was
It's fine.
which was
everybody.
coincidentally on my birthday, so like
I know,
my
how
birthday
rude of
party
her.
got canceled.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was throwing you a really good birthday party.
Right.
With an open bar.
she's
and
going to be
everything.
dancing and
Right.
everything.
And now
It's
it's
great.
like, I'm sorry I was born. At least
Sorry, because now I still have a reason to celebrate that day.
yeah.
Yeah.
At least for this year, I'm like, ooh, maybe next time.
All right. Do you have anything
Do you
else?
have anything
Oh wait.
to add before we?
Do you want to like shout out any of your socials, like TikTok, Instagram,
Where
anything?
can people find you?
If you
Oh,
want to be
God.
found. If you don't want to be
If
found,
you
that's
don't want to be
fine.
found, we'll end it.
I'll figure it out. All my socials are different.
Okay.
You
Well,
can
we'll
find my TikTok, find my IMDb page, because apparently I'm in the entertainment industry.
He's
Apparently,
so popular there.
so popular.
the Delco movie, like that was a good
Yeah.
time for me.
That's right. I remember that.
He's an actor, guys.
He's an actor.
He's
He's a
an
producer.
aspiring
I do a
actor.
lot of funny things with my money and my time. That's all that
It's
means.
fantastic. We love Joe.
All right, we'll link his socials when this episode comes out,
If he wants to be found,
guys.
he might not want you to find
Whatever,
him.
whatever he tells me I can post, I'll post. But thank you
If I
guys.
have fans that know stuff after this, cool. Before, problem. Let's
He's
talk.
making it a test, guys.
Yeah, he wants you to find him.
Big Brother CBS, you can find me. I want to be on your show.
Big Brother, you need
Point
to
at all the
cast him
cameras.
on the show. All of you.
All of you find him. Put him on Big Brother.
She likes Big Brother.
I
I
love
like
Big
Big Brother.
Brother.
I want to be on Big Brother.
I
like,
watched
We're getting
Big Brother
him
with
on.
him when I was on night shift with him. We also watched MILF Manor. I watched
and I
that
think
with
both shows, I was screaming at the TV.
We watched that when we went on training
when we went on training
in the hotel
and
in
then I
Pittsburgh.
watched season 2 with Joe when we were on night shift.
And season 2, I had to convince
two
you to
is so
watch
unhinged.
I didn't get the
because
twist.
you guys didn't realize the twist was like 30 seconds
Yeah.
before the episode ended.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you got to watch it.
MILF Manor.
Yeah.
It's
Watch
trash
MILF.
and it's fantastic.
So trash.
Anyway,
All right.
these death investigators that love reality television have to go. But we're actually, next episode, we're going to be playing a game with Joe. Our favorite game,
We're gonna play
Morbid
Curiosity.
Oh, shoot.
Check us out on all of our socials that you guys know. Inside the Morgue Pod. We're on Instagram, TikTok. You can send us an email with anything you want us to talk about or listen to.
Find us on Young Junk's YouTube page.
Yes, Young Junk. We love Young Junk. Check out all their other podcasts. They're all fantastic. They do great work here. And we will be back next time with a brand new dissection.
Bye.
Bye.
Young Junk!